Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to my first video on YouTube. I'm so much excited to share my design journey with you. So, I will first start with introduction. So, my name is Daniel Samuel, and I'm a graphic designer. So, the reason why I am sharing this video is for me to be able to inspire beginners in graphic design, the people that um, are just starting out in learning graphic design. Well, graphic design is a very nice skill, and when you learn it, and when you know when you learn the skill and you master the skill, and um, you start creating designs. It may not be designs from clients. You can start by creating fictional design. You can start by embarking on design challenges. You can just you can volunteer to create designs for free for someone, and by doing that you are building yourself. You are having the experience, and you also by the time you create the designs, you also post them online. That is how you grow. You have, and those designs will serve as your work samples, you understand, and you use them to build your portfolio. So um as you keep on doing this, as time goes on, that is how you grow. And before you know it, you start working with real clients that pay you that pays you your money. You understand, that pays you for what you did for them. You get. So that is how it is. So in this video I'll be sharing with you my design journey. So this video is made to inspire beginners, So I hope that you get inspired as you watch and listen to this video. So first of all, um okay, I'll start with my first encounter with design. So I would like to tell you when and how I first discovered graphic design. Well, I started graphic design in the year 2020. That was when I started learning graphic design. But before then, I was actually I wanted to learn a skill because in the year 2020 I was in school. So I was still in school then, and I wanted to learn a skill, something that I can use, um something that I can use to sustain myself back then in school, because um school was difficult, and I was depending wholly on my parents, so I didn't wanted to depend fully on them. I wanted to learn something that I can earn money from. So that was how I became so curious. And during the lockdown, after the lockdown, I reached out to someone that is already good in graphic design. So it was the guy that introduced me to graphic design, and I paid him to teach me the skill. So we were doing the skill physically. You understand? We were doing the skill. He was teaching me physically. So after that, um, after the class, though the class did not, I didn't, the class did not finish. Like, I didn't learn till the end. At a point, we, the class didn't hold again, so I had to continue on my own. Continue my own. So I started learning on YouTube. I started learning online. So um, I started buying courses. So that was how I was learning. And I was also, creating fictional designs. I was, practicing. And back then, I used to. There's a friend of mine that likes to give me work. Then, since he discovered that I was a graphic designer, he started giving me work, and I was doing for them. Though the amount um, he was paying me wasn't, much then, but at least it was something. So that was how I started out. That was how I started out in graphic design. So the next thing is early tools and struggles. Well, the um the tool that I started out with, although the guy that I met to teach me the skill, so the guy was using Corel Draw. So he wanted to use Corel Draw to teach me the graphic design. So fortunately, the system that I was using then, it it didn't allowed it Corridor was not able to I was not able to install Corridor on the system because the size of the system was small, and is this um the system couldn't carry Corridor. So I had to go for another application. So I started learning on phone using Pixel app. So I was using Pixel app to learn them. So the tools that I was using them was Pixel app. I was using my phone to learn. So but as I was learning, I wasn't really satisfied. I wasn't seeing myself as a designer. I would be like, how can I have laptop and I cannot use it to design? I will not be using phone, something like that. So that was how I became curious, and I fortunately um, I started making some research to see other design software someone can use. So that was how I discovered Photoshop. So I discovered Photoshop. I There is this website that I went and searched for the software, and I downloaded it. But fortunately, the one that I downloaded, my system couldn't carry it. It couldn't work on my system, so I downloaded the lowest version of Photoshop. I think that was Photoshop Extended. Photoshop. I've forgotten that type of Photoshop. Sha. Yeah, Photoshop. I downloaded it and I started using Photoshop. Although there were so many limitations on it, but I kept on I kept on learning. Yes, and that particular Photoshop, it's the one that they used to subscribe, but they will allow you to use it for a period of time for free. So I started using the one that I started using it for free, and each time the free time has elapsed, I'm going to delete it and restore it again. So that was how I was doing it then, because I wanted to use system to design. I was not comfortable using my phone to design. So that was it. So the next thing is how you started learning. Well, the learning process has it has been a continuous process, because right from time I've been learning. I first started learning on YouTube. That was when I started learning graphic design. I watched graphic design tutorials a lot. I watched them a lot. So from there, I got a course. Yes, I got a course, and I went through the course. So all these things I was doing is what kept building me. You understand? It's what helped to build me. And one thing is that any tutorial that I watch, both in course or YouTube, I used to replicate what the designer did, like, because most of them, they used to work on design projects. So as they are creating the design, they are also explaining it. So I that was what I was always doing. Anytime as I'm watching them as they explain it, I'm also doing it together with them. That was what I was doing. So I was doing this, and from there, and most of the videos that I watch on YouTube, they used to some of the YouTubers, they used to include where to get the resources that they used for the design in the video description. Yeah, so once you check, some of them, once you check their video description, you're going to see they're going to leave a link to where you can be able to get the resources. So that was how I got the resources, and I also practiced together with them. And there's something that I discovered when I bought the course. The course was another thing that helped to boost my learning process, because the course is more structured, and the course started from the grassroots. You understand? It's going to teach you the principles, like the basics of graphic design. So that was so the course, it really helped me a lot, because it's boosted my learning process, and it is more structured. But YouTube is just random tutorial videos. That is I'm going to advise every designer, if you are starting out in graphic design, the first thing you need to do is to get a course. Start from a course. Then once you are done with the course, because a course will ground you from the foundation, from the basics. But once you go to YouTube are just random videos that are there. Some of them, the designers don't really explain the process, like what they really do. Yeah, but once you get a good course will explain everything for you, and you're not going to be confused, because everything is well structured. So maybe after you are done learning from a course, then you've practiced it, then you can now go on YouTube, because already you've gotten the basics. So that was how I started learning. So my first real project came from a friend of mine, when I posted the logo that I did. So I posted it online. The guy saw the logo and he liked it, and he told me that he would like me to create something like that for his business. So I charged him. I think what I charged him then was 1.5. Yeah, I charged him 1.5, and he said no problem, you should do it. I did it for 1.5, and I was so happy that night. Like, that was my first design. That was my first money in design. Yeah, I was so happy that I made 1.5 from just that logo, and I did it for him. I sent to him. He liked it. So that was my first real project. And well, so to thank God, I just thank God that, so after I got paid, so I was not like, so this is how I'll get paid. So I had that belief that if I continue, um I'm going to make more. I'm going to make more money from it. So that was so I kept on pushing, kept on learning, even if sometimes you can stay for months. I personally, I can stay for months without getting any design job. Sometimes I can stay up to 3 months. No one has contacted me to say I should design for them. But one thing that I'm so grateful for is that I kept on pushing. I never stopped learning. I never stopped showing up. I kept on pushing. I kept on doing what I'm supposed to do till now. Although I'm not where I'm supposed to be now, but at least I'm better than before. So the next thing is progress and growth. Yeah, that's the next question over here. Yeah. So my okay, how my skills, I would like to start with my skills. My skills improved because of I continued learning. Even up to now, I'm still learning. Yeah, I'm still learning up to now. So I, continue learning, continue practicing. Yes, I kept on doing all these things, though it took me time, especially when I was in school. When I was in school, I was not really serious in graphic design because of my education. You understand? So it was after I was done with school that I became fully focused on it, and to God be the glory. I am where I am now, though I am not where I want to be. Yeah, at least I have progressed so much on in graphic design. So the next thing is and I also want to thank God that I didn't just grow up. I didn't just grow as a designer. I didn't just grow in graphic design. I also grow in terms of getting clients. Yes, I grew in terms of getting clients, and most especially I do post my work a lot online, and I do get referrals. Most of the design jobs that I get is through referrals. Yeah, but once I create a design job for someone, the person might the person can refer me to another person, and that was how the thing is. And there's one thing again that helps me to make money, to get clients. Any clients that I get in graphic design, I used to make sure that I keep that client, because I don't just create design for the person and that's the end. I do make sure that I keep them so that so that tomorrow they'll come back. Tomorrow when they have a design need, they'll come back to me and for me to design for them. So that was one thing that I prioritize so much. I try to keep that customer base intact. Like, most of my customers, they do come back. Once I create design for them, they like it. Before you know it, I've become their design automatically, and they will like me to create for them more and more. So that's it. So I would like to dive into where I am today. Well, as you can see, I'm using Photoshop, and this Photoshop is different from the one that I started with initially. This one now. So and the system that I'm using now is also different from the system that I used before. All these things are progress, little progress in the field. And I use Photoshop, I use Adobe Illustrator. I use Adobe Illustrator for logo design. Yeah, I use Adobe Illustrator for logo design. Each time I have a logo design to create for someone, I use Adobe Illustrator. And well, I have so many goals for the future. Yes, I have so many goals for the future. Like I said, I'm not where I need to be. I still have so much. But each time I go online, one thing that motivates me so much is whenever I go online and I see the jobs of other designers. Wow, and I do get motivated, because I know that I'll be like, I haven't started, do I never start. So, but thank God I will keep pushing, Yeah, we'll keep pushing, keep pushing. So, my advice to beginners. So, for beginners, I just have this encouragement, this words of encouragement for you. The thing is that just start small with what you have. Start with whatever you have, even if it's with your smartphone. Like, you don't have a system yet, you can start with your smartphone. If you don't have a system, there are some designs that you see out there, and if they tell you that this design are being created with smartphone, you'll be surprised. I know a lot of designers that are doing well with creating designs from with their smartphone. They just create design with their smartphone. They don't use system. and they are doing so very, very well. They're even doing very well, more than some people that are using system, laptop to design. So you can start with whatever you have. What matters there is the zeal. You understand? What matters most is the zeal. And as you start, do not compare yourself with others. Do not compare yourself with others. There are people that have been in this design journey for long, and they have had that experience. They've gathered so much experience in this, and you that just started out yesterday, you come out and start comparing yourself. If you're doing that, you are not going to you are just going to cause yourself depression, which is not good. So as a designer that is starting out, you have to not compare yourself with anyone. The person you should focus on is on yourself. You should focus on yourself, and believe me, you are going to grow so fast. And I'm going to also recommend that you should learn the basics first. As a beginner, the first thing you're supposed to learn first in graphic design is basics. You have to learn the basics, and that was why I said you should first of all get a course. You should get a course. Yeah, I should get a course, because any course that I know in graphic design, any good course I know, they usually start from the basics. It will put you through the basics, and from there you go to the next level. You understand? So you should learn the basics first. That's the foundation of graphic design. That's the foundation, and from the foundation you start building. So that's it. So I think I'm going to. So that's the end for now. That's the end. So I invite you to share your story to. I would like you to share your story in the comments, and also subscribe for more tutorials and design tips. Well, this is my first video on YouTube, and trust me, I'm going to be creating a lot of tutorials. I'm not going to be sharing them here. I'm going to be posting them here. A lot of tutorials. I'm going to be posting them here. Well, let me just show you some of my designs that I've created. Let me show you some of my designs that I've created. Well, you can. This is my design I created. Here is another one. Yeah, these are my designs. You can see most of them. You can see them. So once in a while I'll be picking one of these designs, and I'll create a tutorial on how I was able to create this design, and I'm going to share it on YouTube. So I'll urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's a little way you can so that you get more design tutorials. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next. Bye.